It seems this couple in Ohio, they're going to go on a Florida vacation, and the husband flew down a day early. And he was going to wait for his wife down the next day. And when he got there, he saw that they had computers in the room, and he decided to send his wife an email. But the problem was he put in the wrong email address. And not knowing this, he sent the email. Now, somewhere else in some other part of Cleveland, there was a lady just coming home from her husband's funeral. And she gets home and she thinks, well, I'm going to check the email just to see if we got any messages from any friends or family about, my husband's passing. She goes in to read the email and she screams and faints. Now her son, hearing this, runs into the den where the computer was and sees his mother laying on the floor, sees the computer screen there, and reads the email, which went something like this. To my darling wife, I have arrived. They now have computers here for us to send emails to our loved ones. I have checked in, and everything is set for your arrival tomorrow. I'm looking forward to seeing you. I hope your trip was as uneventful as mine. Your husband. P.S. It sure is hot down here. So when sending out your emails, please make sure you have the right email address on there. So, to get ourselves in the right mindset here, let's do our statement of purpose together, if you would, please. I am here right now with an open heart and an open mind, ready to receive the message and learn the lesson Spirit has for me today. And so it is. And so it is. So today's going to be a little bit different. As you can see, I'm going to have Charles come here in just a minute. We're going to talk about there is no death. There is no such thing. Only in the dream, only in the illusion. In A Course in Miracles, it says there is no death because the living share the function their Creator gave them. And your function is one of being eternal and limitless and changeless. That's your function. And it's to share that function while we're here in this dream of separation, this dream of judgment. This dream where we have made death a part of it. But you must live from your function and teach that there really is no death. Now, the only way you can really get that there is no death, of course, is to really understand who you really are. And that makes all the difference in the world. And when you realize that our function is really just to extend eternal love, and that you will do eternally, then you must know that there really is no death, that you can't really die. The Course says that death is not an ending, it's a continuation. That's all that it is. There is no ending in death. It's just a continuation. This is a beautiful verse from the Course. I'm going to read this to you, and I'm going to have Charles come up here. It says, there is no life outside of heaven. Where God created life, their life must be. In any state apart from heaven, life is illusion. At best, it seems like life. At worst, like death. Yet both are judgment on what is not life, equal in their inaccuracy and lack of meaning. This isn't life. Some of you have heard me say this before. This is as dead as you get. Right here, right now, sitting in that seat, this is as dead as you get. Everything from here on is more life. Right? And when you really get your mind around that, you will really understand that there is no death. I want to introduce you to a gentleman, if you haven't had a chance to meet him, that really understands this, that there is no death. Charles, come on up here. Please help me give him a nice speech. Rose is going to hand you a microphone there so they can all hear you. There you go. So for those of you who haven't met Charles, please take the time after the service to come up and talk with this man and get to know him and feel his spirit. Because once you meet him and see where he comes from, you're going to have a really hard time maybe getting your mind around his situation. So I'm just going to ask Charles if he would just kind of explain his current situation to you in his own words. Charles?
Okay. First, good morning, perfect child of God. My situation now is I've been diagnosed for the second time around with stage 4 terminal cancer. I've been given 6 months, 8 months at the longest to live. And I'm in hospice right now. I'm a hospice patient. As a matter of fact, that's just so funny when you talk about there is no death. The funeral home that I have set up there, in case something happens, I have to carry this little card in case of death for to bring the body to. Funny. Okay, but I'm in hospice and I have my days. I call them my challenges, and it's just part of my journey. And sometimes it's a little rocky, sometimes it's a little smooth, sometimes a little hot. You know, it's just part of the journey.
So here is a gentleman who is sitting here knowing that his days are numbered. And from out there, I'm sure you can get how peaceful this man is. How does he do that? Well, he understands that, as it says in A Course in Miracles, the world is not left by death, but by truth. And truth can be known by all those for whom the kingdom was created and for whom it waits. The kingdom was created for every one of us. And you don't leave this world by death. Okay? Because when the body appears to die, if you haven't got all your stuff worked out, as it says in the Course, death is just a continuation. You just continue in a different form. That's all. And if you can reach that end in peace, odds are you probably got it all worked out. Okay, and his continuation will be somewhere else.